Boy T here with B, and we are here to cover all the happenings in the sports world this week. Definitely we'll be covering the Lakers, Warriors, exciting times. And then we'll talk a little about the NFL and some other stories in the middle. It's a fun week, man. We're getting down to the bitter end of the NBA season. So we're going to really have a nice long chat about where some of these teams are currently and where we think they will fall. Maybe we'll throw some predictions in there. I'm not sure if we're ready for that, but we're at least going to take a look at the league and see how our teams will do and what we can expect from some of the other teams in the current playoff picture. B, man,
yes,
how you doing?
Hey, man, I'm good. Happy 3/16 day to all my wrestling fans out there.
Stone
guys, see, you knew who it was.
Yeah, I used to watch wrestling.
Right?
Yeah,
Can
I used to watch it.
Oh, man, can you imagine just, if that was an actual holiday like 3/16 day and you're just walking down the street, somebody kicked you in the stomach and just gave you a stone cold stunner, poured a beer right over your head as you were laying there fucking breathing, looking for air to breathe and stuff like that, man. I personally, I feel like walking around and doing that to a kid, to be honest with you.
A kid, okay.
Let me show you the attitude era that we grew up on wrestling.
Okay, we don't beat up kids, okay, on this network. We don't talk about our podcast is kid friendly.
My niece, nephews, god kids, any of them, they catching stone cold stunners.
Okay. So
just without the beer.
So just to quantify, I want to make sure clarify that for folks. B is only going to beat up on children within his family, okay? Nobody else.
Within my family.
If kids start talking sideways at family events, they get a kick in the stomach. Stone Cold Stunner is going to clink together 2 high C box drinks, blah blah, chug them down and toss the empty bottles on top of their little kid bodies.
WrestleMania is a month away too. I can't wait.
Big time.
Cannot wait.
Big time.
Love it.
All right, well, folks, let's get into it a little bit. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget
more
to hit
just came in.
Notification. Hit the likes and all that good stuff. Check out some of our videos. We hit the 200 subscriber mark last weekend. This week we're at where are we at?
We just got to 209. We just picked up 2 more.
209.
I guarantee you it's probably off of some Lakers short that was just posted too.
It was Luka Doncic is what it was. Because I'm the one that posted it. Luka Doncic with Kendrick Lamar, who did a verse on the Playboi Carti album where he says, "I carried the weight in the West like Luka Doncic." Love it. Love it. So anyway.
I love me some Kendrick Lamar, but some of these phrases about LA drive me absolutely nuts. Like the Dodger Blue song off of his GTX. I can't.
Well,
I won't listen to it. I won't even let it hit my screen. I'll see it come on skip.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, we appreciate everyone is what we're trying to say.
We do.
I don't know if folks know, but about 2 months ago, we were at about 162 subscribers.
A couple months ago, more like 3 weeks ago. People have just taken off and like they want to be a part of this show. So we're just happy for that, man.
Yeah, so we're happy to get more subscribers. We're trying to get as much content as we can out as quickly as we can. So we are doing our best. But yeah, we really appreciate the love up to 208. So really appreciate that 40 or so more subscribers. I know a lot of folks have been coming on to check out the highlight, but please don't forget, check out our show. If someone is at my door for some reason, so check out our show and just, check out some of our long form videos too. We want to make sure you guys know we are on top of our sports day in and day out. All right. Well, let's get into it. So, B, man, you're all excited about your about your Warriors.
What? Excuse me. Oh, hell no.
There's a child at my door. Hold on. What is happening? Children are at my door trying to play with my youngest son, asking if he can go out and play. It is cold right now.
And is it raining up where you're at?
Almost. Hey.
Yeah, we got some rain.
Hello. I'm sorry, Eli. Eli can't come out and play right now.
Hey, man.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. He can't come out right today.
That's because he's right behind you.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Thank you, son. Go ahead. All right, folks. That's real-time father in there. Using apps to tell children that they cannot play because it's cold outside and my son is busy. and my son making sure that he knows that there are children at the door waiting on him. All right, back to the show. I'm going to pull up the NBA picture. B, you got it up on your end? I'm going to look it up. We're going to talk about
my end.
We're talking about how great the Lakers are coming off of a...
You guys are on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, because we lost half our team. But now that our team is back, we showed the Suns what's what. Get out of here. KD getting cooked. Look at it. Come on, you couldn't even say it. That's how good we are. KD getting cooked by Luka with the through the leg dribble step back 3 in his face. Bye-bye, KD.
You know
Devin
what, man?
Booker, bye-bye. Bradley Beal, bye-bye. There's a garbage team. They got all the players. They got $200 million worth of contracts, and they can't even beat. They're like 5 games under 500.
Make it 6 games under 500.
6 games under. They're garbage, man.
Terrible.
Garbage.
Terrible.
Garbage.
Where do we even? You know what? We've talked about our teams a lot, and rightfully so. We're still going to. But man, talk about a big 3 that underachieved. Let me ask you this: what was worse as a big 3? The Brooklyn Nets when they had Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, or is it this Suns team with their big 3?
Dude, I can't even.
Which one is a worse combination?
I can't even compare with that team because those guys were old as garbage. They were getting traded from the Celtics at a point in their career where they didn't have much to give, and the Celtics took Danny Ainge's bait. Right, because
they took that good.
They got all of the first round picks they could ever want for the Brooklyn Nets, which ended up getting them a championship right now, mind you, or last year. Okay, so that was a dumb trade. But I want to compare this one to another big 3, and the 2 things these 2 teams have in common is Kevin Durant. Remember the Nets? The Nets had James Harden, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. Does anybody remember that? It wasn't that long ago. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. And that team also fell flat on its face. This is embarrassing. The Suns went all out to try to make this team good. They thought that this was their last opportunity for them to win a championship by putting these 3 ball-dominant shooters. And it's a bad fit.
You can't even say championship because it's, the one year that they were in the finals had nothing to do with KD.
No, that was the Chris Paul team.
Yes, exactly. So this team here has been barely lucky enough to even survive the playoffs. The last time they were in it, they were getting bounced by, it was last year. They got bounced by Luka and a half-decent Mavericks team. But you want to just talk about an experiment that just absolutely just blew up on itself. Grayson Allen is now out. Monte Morris. You got Bradley Beal day-to-day. He's barely been on the court all year as it is. If I'm Kevin Durant and you trying to live this legacy out, you better go somewhere where you can at least win a championship. You've already played for more teams than probably somebody of your caliber has already done. So you might as well just do one thing and just go back to a team where you know you're going to win a championship.
Dude,
the Suns have to blow this up. You have to get rid of these contracts. You're going to have to start.
They're stuck, man. They tried to trade Kevin Durant by the trade deadline, and they couldn't get any takers.
You know what's funny? Why did he say no in the middle of his season when he knows he's not going nowhere?
I have no idea, man.
That blows my mind.
Bradley Beal has a no trade clause. He's one of 2 players that have one. They can't even trade him unless he chooses the team he wants to go to.
Yep.
They swear up and down by Devin Booker like he's the best thing since sliced bread, but there's only one small guard in the league that's ever actually done something, at least recently, and that's Steph Curry. Everybody else, not happening. Does anybody remember the Dame Lillard teams with CJ McCollum? I mean, small guards don't get it done in most cases. Okay, there's a few situations where it happens, but if you ain't Steph Curry or Isaiah Thomas, you're probably not winning the championship.
Didn't the Suns have Isaiah Thomas at one point?
No, not that Isaiah Thomas, the original.
Oh, the original. Not the busted.
I said win championships. Not that guy. I mean, he's a great player.
We can't knock on Isaiah Thomas.
We can't. He's a great player.
He kind of got screwed out of a job in the NBA. I thought he was ready to resurrect his career, but I can't wait to see the Suns offseason in a month to see what they're gonna do. And if Kevin Durant decides to stay, The man is an idiot.
He's not.
He's an idiot. He better not.
He's not. He's going to go somewhere else. Now, where will he go? I have no idea.
Golden State. We're giving up everybody to make it.
Okay. Let's play this game then. Let's play this game. Prediction time. We know KD's not going to stay with the Suns. They tried to trade him. Okay, so obviously they don't want him anymore. The season's going down the toilet. Okay, they're not winning the championship or even getting to the playoffs at this point. In my opinion, he's going to the East Coast. I think he's going to New York. KD to New York. I think that's the next step. Kevin Durant to New York. He's going to New York City. Gets to play on a big stage, play with a good team, with an opportunity to actually do something in the last 2 or 3 years of his career.
So Tom Thibodeau could run him into the ground? Like, Tom Thibodeau don't rest players, that's for damn sure. And then Kevin Durant ain't young, to say the least.
He'll rest KD if it means winning a championship. He'll figure it out.
I think he goes back to the Warriors, and we give up Kuminga, we give up Trace Jackson-Davis, probably. You know what? No, we're not giving nobody up, because you know why? All it takes is a few first-round draft picks to make a team happy. So screw it.
What are you talking about? We gave up Anthony Davis for Luka. Y'all got to give up something.
Okay, we'll give up Kuminga.
Yeah.
But I would part ways with Kuminga and say Kevin Durant.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green.
Oh, my God.
Curry, those 4, y'all do this one last time here. Let's see if we can get to 6 championships. And are we building it? Yes. But what team in any league is not building to win championships at this point? So why not? I'm saying he comes back to Golden State. I'm saying he comes back to Golden State.
So he put it out there. The Warriors are going to get KD back in the offseason via trade somehow. I'm saying that KD goes to the Knicks. We'll see how it works out. What we do know is he ain't going back to the Suns. That's for damn sure.
JJ's in the chat going, the Suns team by far can't trade. I think he's referring to which two of the worst big 3 there was. JJ also says can't trade Beal. Well, let me ask you this, JJ. Where do you think Kevin Durant's going? And I damn sure know it's not going to be LA. And then 49er, UCLA Wolverine, Warriors champs. Oh, God. Michigan basketball NCAA champs. Miss me with that, man.
Wait, is that Wu-Tang?
That's Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang!
He started off hot with the Warriors champs and then just, he completely ruined his comment saying Michigan.
LeBron's not going to the Warriors, man. He got Luka Doncic now. What does he need to go to the Warriors for?
Yeah, we don't need him no more because we got Jimmy Butler.
Exactly. That's not happening. That's not happening. These teams, in our opinion, are on a collision course, people. The Lakers and Warriors are on a collision course. If it works out for me the way I want it to, the Lakers will beat the Nuggets, and they'll get to the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals.
Way.
We'll play each other, and we will beat you, and then we will play the Celtics in the finals.
He says LeBron and Dubs, Wu-Tang, diversify your bonds.
Yes,
we probably do need to do that in this time of age.
I believe that was the RZA. They said that on Dave Chappelle's show.
The RZA, the ODB himself. So we get a little off track here.
It's all good. So let's jump back. So we were talking about
hold on. JJ said KD to Charlotte. Oh God.
Damn, man. I don't think the Suns hate him that much.
I don't think the Charlotte Hornets can even afford him. Jesus.
I mean,
that's terrible.
My thing though, why are the Phoenix Suns so connected to Devin Booker like he's the greatest thing ever? I mean,
I don't know, but don't look now though, because the Portland Trailblazers can find their way into this playing tournament. They're only 4 games out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, Dallas is on a complete slide, so that 10th spot is open for
everybody. What's not to expect? Dallas lost their entire team.
Yeah, you want to talk about dumps.
Their G League team is now playing in the NBA.
So the only team that's having a worse time than the Suns has to be the Dallas Mavericks, who have had the worst, I can't even call it offseason, mid-season situation, I guess we'll call it, that we have ever seen in the history of the NBA. They trade away their best player, who took them to the finals last year, Luka Doncic, to a team also within the West, which probably isn't a good idea.
No,
they traded him to someone within the Western Conference. They get Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis plays for like 20 minutes and he's gone. Kyrie Irving then is trying to carry the load, and unfortunately blows a tire. Excuse me.
Yeah,
and
Pause.
And
oh my god, that was a good one.
And then of course all the injuries start piling up. They don't have
lose all their centers.
They don't have any more. Lively's gone. Gafford's gone. You know, the whole sky is falling. And all I can see is Jason Kidd probably drinking himself to sleep every single night, which he probably shouldn't be doing that. He has a history. But still, that's probably what's going on. Poor Jason Kidd. I feel bad for him. But
I don't.
Maybe next year they'll have a chance. But for right now, the 10th spot is open, and the Phoenix Suns still don't want it. So you're right. Maybe the Trailblazers do have a chance. The Kings, I gotta give the Sacramento Kings some credit though. They've been staying.
No, don't give that team no credit. Hell no, they don't deserve.
I mean, they've been sticking at 500. I mean, I thought they would slide right out of the playoff picture.
I wish they would. Dude, they're on a 4-game losing streak. They're lucky to still be under 500. Lucky to be around 500 right now. Nah, they're not even worth it. The Clippers are sliding. Minnesota, you know, along with the Warriors with the easiest schedules. The only reason why the Warriors are above the Wolves right now is because they have the tiebreaker.
Well, can we stick on that? Because I mean, I know we're looking at it. Just so folks know, we're looking at the playoff picture. And we're going from the bottom up right now. So we're looking at the Suns were in the 11th. We had the Dallas is 10th. Kings are in the 9th, and now we're talking about the Clippers. We talked about teams that have underachieved and some teams that just putting talent next to each other but not getting anything for it. Okay, the Clippers is another one of those teams. Same thing when you talk about, we talked about the Suns. We talked about the Brooklyn Nets previously with the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving thing. The Clippers are right up there with Kawhi Leonard and James Harden. They had Paul George for the last few years. That didn't go well. And
Norman Powell?
Yeah, Norman Powell, but he's not a big three.
Yeah.
I don't think he's not even a Hall of Fame player. I mean, excuse me, he's not a all-star player, caliber player. He's a good player, though. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's just not an all-star.
He should have been this year. That I do agree with. He should have been this year.
But the Clippers are on a free slide, man. Kawhi Leonard still can't stay in uniform, and it's quite frankly pathetic that any player of any caliber would join a team like the Clippers in hopes of winning a championship? Can we just all put that to bed? The Clippers don't win championships. That's not possible. It hasn't happened ever before.
You got to make the finals first, Jesus, to even talk championship.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what everybody was saying. Do you remember the amount of press whenever Kawhi left the Raptors to go? Stephen A. Smith had just brown all on his face. Just Kawhi Leonard.
We ain't talking about that.
Kawhi Leonard, boo-boo, all on his face. Because that's how far ESPN was up Kawhi Leonard's butt when he went to the Clippers to join Paul George and eventually later on James Harden. So that team didn't amount to anything. They changed their city. They should have changed. They need to change their city. They changed their logo. They changed their building. Same old crappy Clipper product. In 3 years, this team will be back to being the very bottom of the West, like they were whenever Donald Sterling was there. The team's cursed. They're garbage. They're trash. What are you booing about? You killed them whenever you killed the Chris Paul team. Remember, that was y'all. That was the Warriors. Y'all just that team. That was the best team they've had ever.
That wasn't even that good because all they did was just jump out of the building.
Yeah, true,
there was nothing to that Lob City team. Yeah, that wasn't going to win a championship.
It wasn't going to win a championship, but
it wasn't going to win a playoff series either, and that was clear. The Clippers are they were what, top 4 not too long ago?
Oh yeah, they were in the 4th or 5th slot, and they just kind of
Now they're sitting in the A spot, and they're probably a team I don't see getting out of that play-in tournament. I think they're stuck in it at this point.
I'm telling you, man, just trash. Now the Minnesota Timberwolves, they had some injury issues with Rudy Gobert and we're missing some of their key players, but they've been playing really well. They've won 8 in a row, and Edwards, ever since he found one of his illegitimate children, has been playing out of his mind. I'm glad he found them. I hate that when you lose children.
We all rest easy now.
You know how scary that is when you lose kids, right? You don't know where they are, and all of a sudden they pop up out of nowhere. It's crazy.
Gotta put a balloon on that kid if he's walking around.
Oh man.
Look for the balloon. There he is.
Take care of your kids, brother, man. Stop. You doing the. Who else was it? A couple of years ago, it was Chunky Butt.
I know who you're talking about.
What's his name with the New Orleans Pelicans?
Oh, Zion
Williamson.
That was different.
Remember?
That was more than just a kid.
Yeah, it wasn't right. It was a kid. It was a baby mama and a side P star on all that. Well, your boy Edwards is kind of going through the same thing right now. So as a young man, we wish him luck and we hope that he figures it out. But in the meantime, he's been playing very good basketball. The Minnesota Timberwolves are on an 8-game win streak, but the fact that Julius Randle may never see the court, I don't even know what's going. Is he even around anymore? Is he still playing?
I'm assuming that he is, but their schedule is up there with the Warriors as being one of the most cupcake schedules ever. They do play Indiana. Indiana is a pretty decent team. They get New Orleans on, I guess you could kind of say a back-to-back, but they play them twice, and then they go on the road to Indiana. Then they play Phoenix, who they own, by the way. Like, Minnesota owns the Phoenix Suns. They play Detroit, at Denver. Dude, they got a road trip for the ages. At Denver, at Brooklyn, at Philly, at Milwaukee, at Memphis, against Brooklyn, and Utah.
Yeah, well, they got some good teams mixed in.
Actually, that's a pretty thick schedule right there.
Yeah.
They may find themselves stuck in that playing tournament too, just based off of this schedule. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
With winning streaks like this, you could find a lot about your team to kind of elevate your game. But I mean, we've seen teams lose bad games too.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think the reason I think Minnesota will stay where they are is, one thing is they brought Julius Randle in, and he was injured for a good portion of time. They're trying to gel this team together pretty quickly. We're at the end of the season, and so you don't have a ton of more time to figure those types of things out. And I just don't see Minnesota, this new edition of Minnesota, getting as far as they did last year. Now, I will say Minnesota owns the Nuggets, as well as some other teams, like you mentioned earlier. They can play well against some teams.
Yeah.
But, dude, if the Golden State Warriors are going to continue to play the same way they have, and the Clippers catch any type of fire because they're only one game back, Minnesota's probably staying in the 7th place.
Yeah.
I don't think they get up to 6. I think they stay where they're at because the Warriors, I don't think, are going to start ducking games off. I don't even think the Clippers really are going to lose that many more games. And so there is a 3-game gap between the 6th and the 5th spot. But there's only a 1-game gap between 6 and 8. So for that reason, I think Minnesota is going to be right there in the play-in. They'll end up playing the 2 seed, which is probably going to end up being, at the end of the day, the Denver Nuggets or something like that. And we'll see how it turns out. But I don't see Minnesota getting out of the 7th spot, man.
This could get really weird, though. And the only reason why is, let's say the Warriors win tomorrow, Denver loses, and now you have 6 through 2 in a span of, as far as on the winning side, 3 games. The losing column is weird. How are the Lakers 41-25 and the Warriors are 39-28? Like, the gap between games is just weird. I think it may be because of the play-in tournament, right?
Or
not the play-in tournament, the in-season tournament.
Yeah, maybe it was that. It was also, we had the fires too. So the LA fires that happened in Southern California, they had 2 games that had to be rescheduled. So there were 2 games that they should have played a month ago that end up getting pushed later on in the schedule. So I think that's what the Lakers are dealing with right now. I think the fact that we have 3 back-to-backs. So we had the back-to-back earlier this week. We have today and tomorrow, and then another one a day after that. So it's because of that. So we'll catch up. But the losing column is what you want to look at anyway, because ultimately everybody's going to play 82 games. So it doesn't, either way. But yeah, man. So let's do it. Let's jump. Now we can talk about the 6th seed, or the current 6th seed. That would be the Golden State Warriors. Just to preface it, Warriors have made a trade. They got Jimmy Butler. Kuminga came back. Kuminga just came back just recently. They've been on a pretty good tear and are dealing with a pretty fairly,
we are dealing with this. We have a soft schedule. I will not sugarcoat it. It is,
but at a good time. I'm not going to fault you for that. You didn't
100%.
Make it at a good time, because we're in the last 20 games. You want to get your team gelling, get them feeling like they know what they're doing. So if you want to have a soft schedule, going to especially with an older team, getting towards the end of the season is probably when you would want to have it. Watching the Warriors are doing a lot of things really well. One of the things that I think they're doing very good is spreading the ball around and finding guys not named Steph Curry to make plays. Yes. And I think
Moses Moody
between post, Kuminga returns. You're looking at guys who have kind of really come in and made a significant impact. A couple of bench players making a significant impact for this team, which I think has been monumental for them. Jimmy Butler honestly has been up and down. I mean, he's had times where he's not really being relied upon to score a lot of points anyway. But he's gonna have to get into that mode. As far as where the Warriors are now and what we're looking at going forward, I don't think the Warriors, because their schedule will drop off many more games. The Warriors at this point need to only be concerned with health. They need to make sure that everybody's healthy getting in to the playoffs, and as long as they can keep this going, and not have to play Curry 41 minutes a game, I think they'll be all right. Do I see them getting into the next layer or next tier as far as the 5th, 4th, 3rd seed? I don't know if that's going to happen, only because, in my opinion, you've got 4 teams deadlocked, and all 4 of those teams, maybe one of them falls a little, but I think it's going to be really competitive going down the stretch with only 20 games left.
Yeah, I still see it though, because before we talk about the Warriors, Memphis is a very, very inconsistent team. I don't believe a 43-25 is what their actual record is. I think they are just maybe a 3-game above 500 kind of team here, because they lost a lot of close matchups over the last couple of weeks, and kind of put themselves in this position here, because they were ahead above into that 2nd spot there. But at least for the Warriors here, you said it right. They're moving the ball. Guys are known. You still see a little bit of miscommunication on the court a lot, but that's just because you're incorporating Jonathan Kuminga back into the game. Right. Jimmy Butler still finding his way in the team here and inside the offense. So I don't think that's why I think that's why you're not seeing him score as much here. It's just because once he gets this figured out, he's going to be good to go. And he made a statement yesterday saying, hey, if I need to go get my shot, I will go do it. But his goal right now is to make sure that everyone on the team is taken care of before he gets his. And honestly, I'm fine with that, because once April rolls around and we get into these playoff games, that's the Jimmy Butler we all want, and we can't wait to see. And there's a whole reason why you came to Golden State, was to give us playoff Jimmy here. And Curry, since getting Jimmy Butler, is averaging damn near 30 points a game right now. He kind of fell off the last 2 games here, but that fire, and we talked about it, that sense of fun that you can see Curry having, you've seen it since he got Jimmy Butler on his team. It's that same fire that he had during the Summer Olympics, when he had guys like KD, LeBron, and Edwards, Anthony Davis, right? Yeah. He had fun playing basketball, and that's what you're seeing now from this team here. They're gelling. This is great. Buddy Hield is getting more to a little bit of a consistent pace here for them as well. But what's going to be interesting is what Steve Kerr does with this lineup when you have Moody having all this success. The starting 5, I don't think you change it. The only thing you probably interchange is whether you start Quentin Post or Kevon Looney in some of these matchups here.
Yeah, I think
smaller than that.
Yeah, I think the only concern you guys really have at this point is, like you said, we're going into the playoffs and what the playoff picture looks like once you get there, as long as you can get there healthy. The one thing I will point out, you guys are 3-10 in your division.
Hey, man, we're not here to talk about that, okay?
Okay, I'm just saying, you're going to have to play the teams in your division.
That's fine.
One of those teams is, well, the Los Angeles Lakers, a team you guys...
We haven't seen you guys since the trade, and we haven't seen you guys since the trade.
You haven't seen us either.
You know what? We'll wait, because we got one more game with the Warriors and Lakers have one more game against each other. So, we'll find out.
It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a great game.
Yeah.
Are you ready for Vando? Are you ready for Jared Vanderbilt? Are you ready for the defenders, DFS? Are you ready for the new improved Jackson Hayes, Luka Doncic, LeBron James?
Are we ready for all of that smoke, right?
Yeah,
We're practicing now.
Right.
They had to deal with Karl Anthony Towns yesterday.
We destroyed Karl Anthony Towns. He didn't even. You want to see what his line was against us when we played him?
Oh, it wasn't that good. I know that because I watched the game. Then we get Jokic tomorrow, and then we get Giannis on Tuesday. So yeah, we'll see how they handle bigs.
All right.
And if we win these next two games and we go 3-0 against legitimate top 5 teams, yeah, we ready for you guys. We ready for you.
All right. Well, that's a good transition as any. That brings us to the number 5 seed, and then we'll take some time to go back and forth on this because again, as we mentioned earlier, I'm a Lakers fan. He a Warrior fan. We're gonna go at this. The Lakers, of course, injuries have hampered them pretty harshly these past few games. They did lose 4 in a row. LeBron James went down.
Fantastic.
LeBron James was hurt. Jackson Hayes was hurt. We lost Dorian Finney-Smith for a while. We had a bunch of guys, different guys out, but a lot of our main guys are out. Rui Hachimura has been out the entire time the past 2 weeks. Or I think maybe even, about the past two weeks. So we're missing a lot of our starting lineup. Now, even when we didn't have them, we lost a bad game to the Nets, which we should have won.
Told you.
We got completely busted by the Bucks. We had no chance with no centers against Giannis. We didn't have half our team. We already don't have bigs. We were missing the one we do have. We had Alex Len out there trying to play. It was terrible. But then we played a very good game against the Denver Nuggets.
Still lost.
We still lost. But we didn't have Luka in that game. It was just Austin Reeves and friends. So I thought we put up a good fight. And then I thought that Austin Reeves carried that same game into this game against the Suns, who is a team that's not playing very good. And the Lakers are back at home too. So I should also point that out. And, of course, we took care of the Suns today. But overall, man, I know we've been on a little bit of a rough spot due to injury. But this team, once most of it starts getting put back together, what they're capable of doing offensively, in my book, is pretty darn good. Luka Doncic has still looked a little slow at times. He doesn't look like he's fully all the way back. But from what we've seen, he's a guy that can still put plenty of buckets up, can still get to the basket. And you couple that with, finally we get Jackson Hayes back from injury. He's a lot better at finishing at the rim than what he was before, and offers that alley-oop threat that we definitely need. And then Austin Reeves had a couple of really rough games coming off of an ankle injury, but came back with a vengeance in that Denver Nuggets game, and I felt like continue that in this game as can prove it to be a 20-point-a-night score. And honestly, the Luka Doncic thing is interesting because the Lakers really defensively is what is separated them from what I can see. The way that they played on defense is what makes them special. The offensive part is good too, but having Vanderbilt back, Jared Vanderbilt, Dorian Finney-Smith, those guys being on the floor and being your defensive wings. Even LeBron has stepped his defense up. It's a tough out. It's a tough out for any team. When you look up and down the Western Conference, you've got a few bigs there, but the one thing you don't have is a lot of really big defensive players outside of what you have in Oklahoma City with Jalen Williams and Dort, who's really another good player. They have some really good defensive wings. The Rockets, I don't even know if they play defense. Denver's defense died months ago. The Memphis Grizzlies, I got to be honest, I have to watch Memphis play. I have no idea what they're doing to be where they are. I have to watch a little bit more Grizzlies basketball. I guess they got to play the Lakers.
They are. You guys actually got to play them.
Yeah, no, we do. So and so I like where we stand, man. I think the Lakers will continue to climb as long as we can get our players back. We're supposed to be getting Braun back possibly next week. We're going to get Rui Hachimura back hopefully in the middle of the week. So the idea is we'll be close to full force by the time we get to that next set of games on the 22nd. So we got Chicago, Orlando, Indiana, and Chicago again. So we get a little bit of a soft spot in the schedule. But San Antonio's tomorrow. Got to take care of that. Then we got Denver again at home, and then Milwaukee again at home.
What are you guys just following our schedule?
Dude, I don't know, man. But no, I think they'll be good.
The biggest challenge for you guys will come Sunday and Tuesday in April. April 6th and 8th, you guys are staying in Oklahoma for that time frame. I don't get why the NBA did that. Like, it doesn't make any sense why they're having teams just stay in the city for 2 games. That's not even a back-to-back.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. And then you're going to have the emotional game on the 9th of April as well when Luka goes back to Dallas for the first time here since getting traded. So this schedule gets pretty rough, to say the least here. Indiana's no pushover. Like I said, Memphis is so inconsistent, and then we're going to whoop your ass on April 3rd.
Oh, my goodness. I'm ready, man. It's good. Let's do it.
I cannot wait.
Let's do it.
What a playoff preview. What a treat we're going to get. And we all know, because you're going to have LeBron back. You'll have Steph Curry. We all know how those two match up well with each other. And then you have the pieces around them. That's going to be the more.
Who's Draymond guarding?
Oh, whoever he wants to fight. He's guarding LeBron. Are you kidding me?
He's guarding LeBron?
Yeah.
So then who you putting on Luka?
Jimmy
Butler. Okay.
Yeah.
So then who's your big, man?
We don't have a big, so it's not.
So y'all go put Gary Payton II on Jackson Hayes?
We do it again. We do it regularly anyway. Okay. So it matters.
All right.
Yeah, we'll put Gary Payton II on Jackson Hayes. We'll also put Steph Curry on Austin Reeves. That'd be a fun little matchup.
Curry can't guard Austin Reeves, man.
Hey, man, don't hate on Curry's defense. He'll handle his business.
I'm not gonna hate on his defense. He's just not a defensive player. Business. I mean, it's not that I'm sure he's
supposed
trying
to be a defensive player.
That's what I'm saying. He's trying. He's just not.
That's all we can ask for. All we need him to do is shoot a 30-footer for all of us to be happy, and he does that pretty well.
You remember what happened last time y'all played us, and we put Vanderbilt on him? You remember that?
That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen.
That ain't happened.
We didn't have Jimmy Butler during that time.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. April 3rd.
Who's Jimmy? Jimmy's gonna. Here's what y'all gonna try to do. Y'all gonna try to get Luka on a mismatch 25,000 times.
It's not gonna work because we're gonna get switched every single time.
No, I say y'all gonna try to do that.
Well, I know, but then we're gonna get switched out of it again. Someone who can't guard Luka is gonna get stuck on that, and that it is what it is.
Yeah.
But what I'm telling you is, on April 3rd, mark my words, that's the Jimmy Butler come out party. That's when he's gonna go absolutely berserk. Everyone in the world is gonna get a taste of new playoff Jimmy come that game, because that is going to be a just monster game. I don't care where our teams are in the standing. It's just the fact that it's the Lakers and the Warriors. It's LeBron and Curry. We're going to have a great treat on our hands. And then Jimmy Butler's going to steal the show.
You know Jimmy don't like playing against Bron.
Karl Anthony Towns don't like playing against...
Now Jimmy Butler don't like playing against LeBron James.
Nah,
where has Jimmy been? Where has Jimmy been since the start of his career? Where has he been?
He's been on the East Coast with LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doing what?
He ain't ducking. I promise you he's not missing that.
Getting his ass handed to him. That's what. Like everybody else.
Hey, man. I mean, I can say
Jimmy Butler ain't that big, bro. He's not that big.
He's not that big. I'm not
He's
saying
not. Y'all have a small ass team.
But I'm gonna
play. Somebody gotta go. Doncic is 6'7". Bron is 6'9". Rui Hachimura is 6'9". Okay? Jackson Hayes, when playing, can jump higher than anybody on your... He can jump over most of the guys on your team.
Okay, pump the brakes on that. It's not going to happen.
No.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. Yes, we are small, but we handle our business as a small team. There's a reason why, okay?
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
All that height. We got all this height.
Hey, y'all got hype too. What you getting at me for? You don't think there's hype behind the Warriors? You said height. Oh, height. My bad.
Height. No, I know we got all the hype. No,
I thought you said height. Okay.
Height.
Yeah, you guys don't have a lot of height. Kevon Looney.
No.
He's the tallest guy on your team.
No, Quentin Post is the tallest guy on our team.
Yeah, but he doesn't play under the basket. He's not a bad player, though. Don't get me wrong.
He's not, but his defense ain't all that great. God damn. Stick for legs.
Post be out there. He out there about 3-point line, man.
I know, right?
So he's not trying to... He's like, nah, I'm going to be out here, y'all.
Right, he's like the cat. He's like a cat, and he came in with a bunch of dogs, and now the cat's trying to turn into a dog by shooting all of these threes. But I mean, that's the reason why we're not seeing Trace Jackson Davis on the floor.
Yeah, speaking of cats, can we talk about that? So cats, as in big cat, right?
Draymond Green had some problems on Saturday.
Draymond guarded him one time, hemmed him up a little bit, and then just called him soft all in his face, all the way down the court. And then they finally come to blows after Draymond he gets a foul on Big Cat on the offensive side of the ball and tells him to go sit down.
Yeah.
Get out. Go sit down. Go sit down. Go sit down.
Like it.
Cat did not like that. I gotta give it to Draymond. You know, with a lot of these younger players, he's doing a good job of getting under people's skin.
It's Draymond.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't always work. You know what I mean? Like you have to have the right guy. And so he finds a way to get under certain guys' skin. There are other guys, you know, you try to kind of do that with, and they're not paying attention to you, or it doesn't really matter that much. They just keep playing and just let Draymond do whatever they want. That's why I like our matchup so much, is because Jared Vanderbilt, we talked about this, has been doing the same exact thing. Even in today's game, gets right up at KD's face. KD gives him a little push, gives him a push back. They get into a little bit of shoving match. I love it. Because
I like this little animosity that's going on around the league right now.
Yeah, man.
I like it.
The fire's there, man. So when we get together, I can't wait for it, because you know that it's going to be a little bit of tit for tat going back and forth between these two teams. And get back to Big Cat. Look, let's be honest. I don't want to call the guy soft, but
he's Sherman soft. I call it that soft. Come on, man. You can't be that big.
Cat been in the league
like
for a while now, man. And he does not like being in the paint, bro. Like, what is with him and being afraid of being in the paint?
Oh my God, when he's getting in the paint and he gets fouled and stuff. It's like, dude, you're 7 foot, you're built like a tank, and you act like a pillow. Like, get out of here with that.
Dude, just go up and put it in there, man. You out there, you know, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air looking. But he needs to toughen it up, man. Like, Cat, if Draymond called you soft, you should get in his face and just push him. Get a technical.
Now, so I found out the whole reason behind the little drama that those two had yesterday.
Yeah.
So when the Warriors were in New York, Karl Anthony Towns sat that game out. And we all know the history Cat has with Jimmy Butler, right? So Draymond Green went on the show and said Cat ain't playing because he's afraid of Jimmy Butler. Well, it comes to turn out, Cat was at a funeral service here, right? So Draymond got on the podcast, re-apologized, called it that, but Cat held it against him for the entire time. So that's why there was so much animosity brewing between these two, right? And Draymond used it to his advantage, and Cat bought into it. And that's no one else's fault but Cat. Like, you can't fall for Draymond antics. And then what's worse, Draymond hits a game-winning layup on you. And hits you with
was
the night celebration. It's more like a busted night celebration. It's more, I think they're calling it the nightmare celebration because it's Draymond Green.
Well, at that point, if I'm Cat, I'm not gonna let him hit the layup. Foul him. I mean, Draymond, put Draymond on the line.
Get your money's worth. Draymond will do the exact same thing. He is not gonna let you earn a free basket. He is going to. He's gonna rough you up a bit, so why not give it back to him?
Yeah, I don't understand that, especially when Draymond might only hit one of those shots. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta. But anyway, like we said,
he may hit his.
That's not Cat's forte. All right, Cat wants to stand on this. He wants to be well manicured and stand on 3-point line, shooting 3-pointers. Okay, and it didn't work out that way. Now, keep in mind the Knicks did not have Jalen Brunson. Okay, so this was one of those games where you needed Cat to step up big in order to get something going against this Warriors team. And for all intents and purposes, that was a good game. I mean, they played well.
No lie. That defense by New York was swarming. They did not make anything easy in the game.
Yeah,
nor did
we
the
played
Warriors.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough out.
Their defensive mindset is one of almost like the Boston Celtics, where they fly to the ball.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of missed shots during the game, but they were contested. Like, nothing was easy for both teams. And I'm not taking anything away from the Warriors because the Warriors defense came out and played. But with a smaller lineup like that, the Knicks made it that much harder to get points. And that's why Steph Curry struggled for a little bit in that game there, because he just couldn't couldn't get a shot off.
Yeah, the Knicks do a very good job. But remember, this is a Thibodeau coach team, right? This is a team that's going to be defensive mindset.
Although their center was sucking air, he couldn't even get into the paint because he was so tired. Who's the center for
Mitchell?
the Knicks? Yeah. Mitchell couldn't stop. He had to stop him. He was like calling for timeouts because he couldn't get down the court.
Hey, man.
Tell
that young man to stay out of them streets the night before, man. You got to get out there and play.
Yeah.
I just want to peek in on the chat. So we got 49er UCLA Wolverine, Bronny for Caitlin Clark. What are we talking about? I'm not sure.
And JJ approved of it.
What are you going to... I'm sorry, guys, but we're not running Caitlin Clark out there. I don't know if y'all noticed, but she's like a foot shorter than everybody.
Yeah, those 3-point shots she's getting up in the WNBA.
This is not good. Come on, y'all. Anyway, yeah. and then 49ers. What's up with the Cavs? Well, the Cavs are winning. That's what's up with them.
Let's talk about the Cavs. Let's be the one show that does talk about it. The team that's been playing well all year, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers, who we talked about it before we came on. How does a team win 16 games in a row and yet nobody talks about them?
They're in Cleveland. That's how. They're in Cleveland.
56 and 11. Now, granted, they did blow multiple leads today to the Orlando Magic. And I don't know if you got a chance to watch the highlights of today's game, man, but it was so drunk because every time Orlando got close, Cleveland stretched it again to 15, right? And I'm like, all right, well, there goes the Orlando Magic. So I change it. 5 minutes later, I come back, and here comes Orlando within 3. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll leave the game on. Then here we go, back to another 15-point lead. I'm like, all right, never mind. And they end up winning the game. Orlando won the game here over the Cleveland Cavaliers, ending that 16-game winning streak. But, dude, 56 and 11, you've already clinched a spot in the playoffs. That's wild.
Dude, they've clinched, let's see.
No Evan Mobley today.
They clinched their division. So they've got that set apart. The Boston has also clinched a playoff spot, and then the New York Knicks, they've clinched a postseason spot too. So if you look at the gap between these teams, man, the Cavs are going to win 60 games for the first time since LeBron James. That's what's about to happen right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers as a fan base should be extremely happy with this team, especially if they've got to watch the Browns the other half of this season or other half of the year. Now, the real question is, how good is this team and how will they fare in a 7-game series? How will they fare in the playoffs, I think, is the real question. Truth be told, they haven't played the greatest against the Celtics. Celtics are pretty good. They did get that comeback win where they came all the way back and beat the Celtics.
From 20.
They did. And the Celtics will let you get back in the game. But ultimately, do we see the Cavs going to the finals? Like, is this a team you see making it to the finals this year?
If I answer that question now, that's a tough thing to say.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And I think that's why.
Because you have the Boston Celtics just sitting there, and you maybe don't want to put out Milwaukee just yet, but we know how we both feel about that team.
Put it down.
But you have the Celtics, but dude, you can't count out the Knicks. The Knicks will get Jalen Brunson back.
Yes.
And when they get him back, everything comes back together for them. But this Cleveland team is something of a really good team. Jared Allen is having one of the best seasons he's ever had in the NBA, and yet we don't talk about that part either. Yeah. Donovan Mitchell has been consistent.
Darius Garland
is balling out as well, and for a small backcourt, they're making it work.
Yeah, but they make up for it because their front court is so big.
Yeah, okay, because
you got Mobley. Those guys are huge. But the cool thing is Mobley he can do different things.
Yeah,
and so that's why you let Allen do his thing. You got Mobley who can move around a little bit, who has some agility. And they can play small and big at the same time. And I think that's what makes them special. They're one of the few teams in the league that can do that. I don't think any other team has that combination of versatility with a big like Evan Mobley, and then with two guards, not just one. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland are those are both, in my opinion, all-star guards. I mean,
they worked this year too. They earned that right.
So I mean, you gotta guard somebody. And so, you have to make a choice defensively against this team. And the only team I think that matches up well with them is the Celtics. And that's because the Celtics can play with a good amount of size at the guard position because they have Brown and Tatum.
Watching a Celtics game is very, very frustrating. And the only reason why is this team shoots more threes than entire NBA combined. They put up, I think, what game was I? They put up 59 threes against the Thunder. Yeah. 59 3-point shots, and not one of them is a guy named Steph Curry on that team. They don't get hot like Steph Curry does, and that's what is a little frustrating with the team with that size and all of that skill level is that they rely on the 3-point shot.
They do.
And Jason Tatum should be living at the mid-range. Jaylen Brown should be living at the mid-range. That's a guy who can get to the hoop at any time. You just don't see it because you have 59 three-pointers getting launched to the air every single game. They average over 53s a game. That includes Kristaps Porzingis, Derek White, Al Horford, Pritchard. They have another guy who wears 30 for crying out loud.
You talking about Holiday? No, not Holiday.
Drew Holiday. At least Drew Holiday goes to the rim.
Yeah, he doesn't shoot that many threes.
He don't live with that, bro. You know what's funny? Watching that game when Shai Gilgeous tried to post up Drew Holiday, he couldn't even move him out of the way.
He's too strong, man. He's been in the league way too long.
That was hilarious.
It was like back in the day, and of course I'm gonna bring up a Laker, but back in the day when bigger guards would try to back down Derek Fisher, it didn't work because he's just a small defensive guy who's strong, can get low, and does a good job of using their leverage to keep you out. But remember, you talk about the Celtics, you saw how teams can come back on them. Hell, we even almost came back on them.
They live on the three.
It's because of what you just talked about.
They don't time manage that.
They get hot from three, then they get cold. And that's one thing for the Celtics that they really have to look out for and watch out for as they get into the playoffs, because there's going to be a much smaller room for error. And how many times have we seen this Celtics team? Now, they won the championship last year, and they deserve to do so. But this is the same team that kept losing to the Heat. This is the same team that kept coughing up big games in the finals against the Warriors. So it's definitely something to look out for.
Let me see here. I'm trying to find a stat on how many threes they're averaging a game.
A lot.
But when you watch a Celtics game, just watch the first quarter. They get hot from three right away. But watch how that tampers off by the third quarter. Yeah. They're not this. You want to talk about two different teams in different quarters. First quarter, the hottest team in the NBA when it comes to the 3-point shot. Come third quarter, it's not the same, and they really need to fix that.
Yeah. We were down almost 25 points. We came back and cut it to 4 in the fourth. You know what I mean? And now that was Luka Doncic and friends. That was without LeBron and without her center. So that team definitely needs to pay attention to that. But
I'm pulling it up right now.
Did you find it?
They're averaging 48 3-point attempts a game,
which is crazy. That's almost 50 a game. And that's attempts, folks. That's not,
That's disgusting. Their percentage as a team is 36.9. Yeah. You can't, come playoff time, they got to shrink that up. They have to. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown need to live inside the 3-point circle. Yeah. Those are guys who just have an automatic jumper.
And the only reason they can do that is because of how well they are defensively. Honestly, they get away with it because they're so good defensively that they can shut you down and miss threes and still be in the game. Now the problem will come is whenever they're playing a team or they have a rough night or the threes don't fall, or they're playing a team where there's an obvious mismatch, and then they have to kind of figure that out. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But I don't know, man. I think it's the Celtics and the Cavs. I'm hoping that's what we get to see in the Eastern Conference Finals.
I hope so, too. And that would be – I would take the Cavs. I wouldn't even take – as much as I want to take the Celtics, I'll still run with my underdogs. I'll take the Cavs.
Yep, I don't like the Celtics, obviously, for obvious reasons. So, anybody but them. Anybody but them. But we're a little off track here. I know we were talking about we're in the West, in the Western Conference. covering the. Let's round it out because we're already getting close up to the hour point here.
No, we haven't even talked about the NFL trade deadline.
No, we haven't. Let's round out this Western Conference.
You mean Eastern Conference?
Well, we didn't even finish the West. Let's round out the West, and then we'll have to cover the East next time because we kind of got off topic.
We just got done talking about.
Yeah, I guess you're right. We did. We covered the important teams in the East. We'll put it like that.
Hold on, but before we go forward, let me give I still want to give my credit to the Detroit Pistons, who got absolutely hosed.
Yeah, Shaq. Yeah, Shaq. Since you don't know what their record is, did you see that?
37-31.
Yeah, Shaq said they were 5 games under 500. He had no idea what their record was or that they were in the playoffs at all. And why are we paying these people? Shaquille O'Neal. Come on, man. Kobe was right. Kobe was right. You're out of shape. Get in shape, Shaq.
Cade Cunningham.
Do your homework.
Most improved player of the year, and I think rightfully so here. But I'm telling you, dude, the games that the Pistons have lost have been very close. Yeah. You know what that helps with is clutch situations. Obviously, they're going to lose these kind of games. They haven't been in this position in a very long time. But all of this happening in the regular season could possibly help them in the postseason. That's a team that I wouldn't really sleep on too lightly. Ask the Boston Celtics. Yeah. They went to Detroit and got absolutely dragged up and down the court. All right? And so don't be surprised if Detroit kind of makes noise. I will say it. I will go on a limb and put that out there for them. But I honestly think Detroit's going to give teams a lot of problems in there. But I mean, when you look at the East, dude, it's just the top 6. When you look at the bottom, there's nothing.
Yeah, it's garbage. Yeah, well, they're pretty. All the teams from 7 down are at least 4 games under 500.
That's
how
disgusting. That's disgusting.
But if Detroit stays where they are now, they would actually play the Knicks in the first round of the playoffs.
I think that would be
That'd be great.
Fantastic matchup.
I something the East needs because honestly, some of these other games are going to be absolutely garbage. I mean, if you think about it. Cleveland, and Boston are going to end up playing either the sliding Orlando Magic, the Hawks, or the Miami Heat. Like these teams,
or the Bulls.
Oh God, the Bulls are 11 games under 500. 11 games. They should be in a lottery team at this point.
Right? They should automatically be removed from the postseason.
For real, man. For real. But before we move on, I just want to just cut back to the West because there's something unique about what's happening with the Lakers and the teams above them. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams with 25 losses. You've got the Houston Rockets, the Denver Nuggets, the Memphis Grizzlies, and then the Lakers. Yep. All locked in for an opportunity at number 2. So, B, I'll go to you because I'm a Laker fan. I'm obviously biased. Okay, which of these 4 teams, between the Rockets, the Nuggets, Grizzlies, and the Lakers, get that number 2 spot?
The Warriors get to it.
Oh my God!
I'm joking here. If I had to look,
well, let's say it's one of these 4 teams. Maybe the Warriors do. But which of these 4 teams?
Let me just exclude my team out of this conversation here. We're on a 8-game winning streak. We won't talk about them getting into that spot there. Out of those teams there, I think it's Denver that ends up in the 2 spot.
Denver. Got it.
Dude, remember last year? They were in this position and ended up in the 2 seed last year. And we didn't talk about it, and no one saw it coming.
Well, nobody cared because they got their butts handed to them. That's what happened.
But that's what I'm saying, though, is they're a team that, again, flies under the radar, does their thing. All we're talking about is we're talking about the Thunder, we're talking about the Warriors, we're talking about the Lakers, talking about the Cavs, the Celtics. All these teams here, Denver's right there. Like, they're right there. They have the league's best player in Jokic, and we don't want to – we just excuse the fact that they're just sitting there for the second seed to take. So if I was unbiased that it's not my team, Denver's the team that takes the 2 spot when this is all said and done.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think Denver has a couple of unique problems, okay? They have a second star that is extremely inconsistent. Jamal Murray, I think, is a great player in the playoffs, and he's shown to be that. And when he's not injured, of course, he's had some injury issues. Yeah. But throughout the season, he's, it's kind of up and down. He's here and there. He's like vanilla pudding. Bland. He likes to play the Lakers. But outside of that, It's kind of, so there's this question of who is the legitimate second star for the Nuggets after Jokic, because, teams are starting the scheme for Jokic, which they've always done. But teams are going to get better and better at that as we go through the remainder of the season and into the playoffs. And Jokic is a great player, and I'm not going to take anything away from him. He's able to do a whole lot from the center position, which the likes of players we haven't seen almost ever.
Yeah.
But the man cannot play on defense, and he cannot play in the fourth quarter. He is dog crap tired if you're asking him to play 42 minutes. Okay.
Yeah, he's getting up there in age too.
If you're gonna ask him to play a ton of minutes and be the saving grace in the fourth quarter, which is generally Jamal Murray's job. Remember, that's how this thing goes. Okay, Jokic gets his at some point throughout the game, but when it's crunch time, that's Jamal Murray time. That's generally when you see the ball in his hands. And they can play between those two. They play a little bit of two-man game as well, but generally that's the guy you see hitting the last shot. I don't know, man. I don't trust the Houston Rockets. The Memphis Grizzlies I haven't watched. I want to say the Nuggets have the best opportunity to be in that 2 seed. But it really depends on what my Lakers decide to do, because my Lakers play every single one of these teams.
Unbiased pick on that one there.
Unbiased, fully healthy. The Lakers can beat all those teams. So yes, I'm gonna say
we're asking who slides into the second seed between all of these teams. I'm asking you to give me an unbiased team outside of your own team.
Oh, outside of my team? Oh, okay.
Yes.
Well, if I have to say outside of my team, it's probably going to be the Denver Nuggets, because look, at the end of the day, the Grizzlies, we don't really know what they are. They play better without John Morant for some strange reason, and the Rockets. I mean, they're a very young team.
Bro, they're going to get bounced so quickly.
And we really haven't seen them play in the playoffs with this new group. And so I'm not really trusting this team to be able to take on that pressure. But the Lakers have a good opportunity. The only reason I'm saying that, I'm biased, obviously, but the Lakers are going to play all of these teams at the end of the season. So they have an opportunity to actually play them head to head and make some noise themselves. But we'll see what happens. And
we don't need to round out the East. I just looked at it. There's no.
Oklahoma City's got the 1 seed locked up in the West. That ain't changing.
Let me ask you this: Can OKC run the West?
You mean the playoffs? Is what you're saying?
Can they?
I think the first round. I think they're going to smooth their way. They're going to get through. I think it's not till we get to that second round that we get the true feel of who this team is.
I don't think they get out of the West. I don't see it happening.
I don't know. Like I want to give them the what they deserve for being as good as they've been this year. But after seeing let's look at the rest of it, right? We'll start with even if you go beyond our two teams. The Warriors end up getting Jimmy Butler, all of a sudden they're a better team. The Lakers end up getting Luka Doncic, all of a sudden they're a better team. You still have the Nuggets and Jokic to contend with. Let's say that the Grizzlies and the Rockets are hot garbage and they fall out of the running. Can the Thunder beat two of those three teams in back-to-back series?
No.
That's the question, right?
I'm going to tell you no.
Can they beat one team, turn around, then beat the Lakers or Warriors, whoever's in that slot, and then turn around and beat the Denver or whoever it is? Because that's what they're going to have to do.
Yeah. I honestly don't think so, and it's going to be based off experience, and I will always go with that, because in the NBA, you need experience when it comes to this year. You have to fall before you end up in that top spot there. They haven't really fallen hard. They had injuries last year. It really, you saw the inconsistency against the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, that Mavericks team wasn't all that impressive, with the run that they made.
They just played defense and Luka. That was it.
That's all it was. And if that's what's going to give you a hard time, now you're going to have to deal with guys like LeBron James. And don't disregard the age. The man is still playing at a very high level against most of the players on this team. You got Steph Curry, who is lights out. You're going to have to deal with Jokic. And then maybe Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and if we don't know what side of Russell Westbrook we're going to get.
Yeah,
Those three teams are going to give them the biggest problems because of the experience that they have.
Yeah.
And that's what it's going to come down to. So I don't think OKC gets no further than, I think they lose the Western Conference Finals. They'll get there, but I don't think they win it.
All right. Well, and of course, folks, we can be a little biased, but, the hope is that the Thunder are who we think they are.
Yeah.
But again, young teams, it's tough because you're playing all these old guys who are on their not last leg, but they have a much smaller window of opportunity when it comes to winning the championship. So there's definitely going to be a lot of intent, pressure, especially when we're talking about our teams. There's a lot there. The Warriors don't have 5 more years. The Lakers don't have, well, we got 5 more years, but LeBron don't have 5 more years.
Yeah.
So it's just these types of situations that OKC is going to have to really deal with.
But I think to that though is you're playing teams who can win a road playoff game.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Like they don't. That's how they look at it. Is which we need to steal one. So even though they're going to lose game 1, they have all the confidence in the world that you're going to win game 2. And there's a different mindset when you have that, knowing that there's 3 teams in your conference that can get a road win just like that, and they can flip everything like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it comes down to. So OKC better be ready for that.
Whew, man, these playoffs this year I think are going to be absolutely awesome, especially since both our teams are. You guys have to understand the Lakers and the Warriors have been in the play-in for the past 2 years. So for both these teams to be in the thick of it with a renewed, more invigorated squad going into the playoffs with only 20 games, we're only looking at less than a month left before the playoffs. This is gonna be fun, folks.
It is.
This is gonna be fun.
Dude, we ran through this time.
Dude, yeah.
We didn't even get a chance about Curry hitting 4,000 threes.
Curry hit 4,000, guys, just in case you're wondering.
Man, don't worry, just a new record, new milestone here.
Yeah,
just
first
guy,
first person to ever do it. He's just him.
I like how we just brushed that off. Let me ask you this. I know, just watching Curry play, if there's a shot that you can go back and just hold in your memory for just as a basketball fan, what would be the Curry shot that would just kind of live, kind of rent free when you think about Curry's career?
Now, keep an eye. I'm not a Warriors fan, so these are gonna be ones I remember. It had to be that Game 7 against Sacramento. That was crazy.
But I'm talking more of a specific shot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So so the shot against OKC. The damn near
the half court shot, yeah. So, that one was crazy.
Or dribbling between 5 defenders against the Clippers and then hitting a fadeaway
Chris
three
Paul losing his underpants, lost his whole draws, didn't know where Curry went.
So out of any of those, is there one that you recall here that would be kind of a staple of his career?
Dude, I don't know, man. I can't think of a staple one, honestly.
Damn, man, you a hater.
I don't watch it. I'm not watching every Warrior
LeBron
game.
Dunk that I probably think would be one.
Yeah, but LeBron's played on 3 different teams. Like he's been all over the place.
I'll give you a Kobe memory that'll work too.
Yeah, well,
hater.
I mean, it's not just one shot with Curry. He's shot so many threes.
Not one thing with any player.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. Do you think of the game-winning shot? If it's Kobe, it's like, okay, the game-winning shot against the Phoenix Suns, okay, against that Steve Nash game.
The dunk on the Brooklyn Nets on 3 players at the rim.
That was old Kobe. I remember.
But that's what I'm saying though.
But Kobe's different though because Kobe's always got the ball at the end of the game. Think about it. Kobe's last game of his career was putting up 60.
Dude, you think he was going to give up the ball at all during his last game?
Yeah, but no NBA player in the last game of their career is scoring 60 points. None. I don't care how many times they shoot.
That may change this year, or with LeBron and Curry. I
guess you're right. Maybe
60.
Maybe. But no, Curry's had a lot of great shots. I don't necessarily remember one shot because Curry's always ending games. You guys end games 2 minutes with 2 minutes left. Can we put that out there? The Warriors end most of their games with 2 minutes left. You guys don't win. You guys aren't winning at the buzzer a lot. It's not happening.
Well, I mean, when we need to, we need to.
Yeah, we need to. But I'm just saying.
I'm going to give a very controversial memory here. It was Game 6 of the NBA Finals. You had a missed shot by Boston. Draymond's bringing the ball up the floor. He literally throws it ahead for Curry to run to the spot. Curry grabs the ball and just chucks it up, hits it, points to his finger in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Calling it already. Can you imagine how bad that looked if the Celtics came back and won?
Well,
really trying to do.
The Celtics they were younger. They looked like they didn't have an answer. That's really what it came down to.
Out of all of those there, that really just kind of sticks out because the man he wasn't even looking for the ball. It just happened to be right in front of him and just said, all right, I'm going to shoot this thing. And without hitting the rim, just right through the eyeballs. Happens at the TD Garden on that stupid-ass floor with those dumb-ass fans. You can't ask for anything better. So, yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah. Well, hey, man. Hey. Good times. That's all.
I'll let you. We'll. You know what? We'll re-ask this question on Sunday. Let's see if you have a better answer.
What, for Steph Curry? I'm not gonna have a better answer for Steph Curry. I know my favorite moments, but as far as my favorite players, but I don't know about because I'm not a LeBron fan, so I didn't follow. I mean, I see LeBron all the time, but before I didn't see LeBron all the time. LeBron was playing for Cleveland or Miami. You know, so that wasn't exactly who I was keeping an eye on. Okay,
I'll tell you this: the dunk with LeBron, the dunk in Portland when he ran up on Nurkic and just absolutely hammered him into the ground. I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, well, but then there's also the alley-oop on Terry.
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry, whenever he caught it on the alley and just went right through Terry, like he wasn't even there.
That was so disrespectful.
That was bad, man. Also, big one. Remember Dwayne Wade dunking on Anderson Varejao? Do you remember that?
I did the little
yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyway, there's been a lot of good plays. You know, now that we're going down the slippery slope there, but we're at the end. We appreciate it. We had some fun. A little extra 10 minutes in there.
Yeah, we were going to talk about the NFL, but ain't nothing to talk about at this point.
I think we'll get into it more as we get closer to the season. Obviously, the NFL draft is going to pop up in another month or so, or another month and a half.
Yep, nothing like people screaming and yelling for somebody that had no idea who they're drafting. They're just there to have a good time.
So all the stories are going to be about the two quarterbacks that should be at the quarterbacks, Cam Ward, and a lot of talk will be about Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur. So we'll get there. We're not there yet. We'll get there. But for right now, with what's going on with our teams in the basketball world, I'm sorry, y'all. That's where our attention is for right now. Because
March Madness this week.
That's right. It's happening. It's happening.
Can't wait.
What number one's going to fall, baby? Who's going down first? Wait. What was it? Michigan basketball. So we're going to go ahead and say...
Michigan's going to get bounced.
Michigan's getting bounced.
Yeah. Drop that as your comment, all right? Michigan's going to lose.
Michigan's getting bounced.
Came with that smoke. So is UCLA, because I know he likes UCLA basketball, so they're going to lose as well. Yeah.
They're all losing. Just losers all the way around.
You know what? Duke is getting bounced out of the tournament.
Isn't Cooper Flag injured or something?
Yeah, he rolled his ankle bad. Like, it was a 90-degree roll. Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, did you say Jalen Brunson? His mess went backwards, bro.
Yeah.
I didn't even know your leg can go in that direction. That wasn't good.
I don't know why they don't wear those ankle braces, man.
Yeah, well, your boy Curry walking around with them cement bootstraps on.
Well, you can see it saving his career. So
my man out there looking.
Continue walking with those cement boots.
Remember Forrest Gump? They'll be at them leg braces on. Curry got them on, man.
They were talking about how advanced it was. I'm like, just big ass pieces of plastic around his ankle so he don't go rolling it again. But you don't need this anymore.
It's like it's not that serious. The man's just trying to keep his ankle from rolling. That's it.
He's just rolling his ankle every other game.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, folks. Well, I think that does it for us. We're going to enjoy the rest of our Sunday evening. We hope you do the same. We will continue to post shorter videos. One based on this one, and then some highlights of what's going on in and around the league. The NBA mainly for right now. I did post one about Deebo Samuels. I put an NFL one up there. Talking about how he was being sold for a bag of chips. And maybe we'll talk about that more next time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you noticed, but players make a lot of money when they're signed. But when they get traded, I mean, you pretty much don't get anything. They have no value, which is really weird. Anyway.
Don't make sense.
Until next time, folks, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notifications button. We appreciate it. We will be back with much, much more next Sunday.
Yes, sir.